When you retire, you may get a chance to go to football heaven. This is football heaven.
Hey guys, welcome to The Mission. I'm your host, Jameer Howerton, and this is Football Heaven. July is guaranteed to be some really amazing shows right here on The Mission. We get the golden opportunity of getting to know this year's class just a little bit better because we're only a month away from Enshrinement Week, powered by Johnson Controls. So you need to visit profootballhof.com for all your packets, ticket information. If you haven't purchased your tickets for Enshrinement Week, powered by Johnson Controls, right here in Canton, Ohio. Well, throughout the month of July, we're going to catch up with presenters that get the opportunity to present the men in this year's class. And helping me kick off this month's series is Genesis Butler, the wife of LeRoy Butler, who's presenting her husband into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Genesis, welcome to The Mission. We're so honored to have you on. You know, before we dive in and talk about you presenting your husband into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, first and foremost, how are you doing and how are those plans coming along? Because we are a month away.
Well, I'm doing great. So I am very fortunate to have Kathy of the Packers to help out, and she's doing an amazing job. So it makes my job a breeze.
Awesome. Awesome.
We are super excited, and I can't wait until the enshrinement, until he gets his jacket, and then for the final preparations of the party. And we're just so super excited, and all the detail and planning that goes into it. It's a little stressful, but I mean, you know, just like planning your wedding. So, and it's just, you just take a break and just say, you know what, enjoy it. So that's what I'm
amazing. That's amazing. Well, what we're trying to do throughout the month of July is really to get to know our class better. And who better than to have the presenters, the people who are presenting them into the Hall of Fame for our viewers, our listeners, just to become a little more acquainted with our Hall of Famers. And your husband is LeRoy Butler, Genesis Butler, and he asked you to present him into the Hall of Fame. You got to give us the background story. How did that come about? Like, was that? I'm gonna shut up. You tell us. How did he ask you to do that?
As his, I don't know if I should say tagline, but this is what he's always saying. He said he likes to do things that no one else does. So when we first found out about the Hall of Fame, and then we were looking at the presenters to see how it goes, because of course we never have done this before. So just to see what other people are doing. And my mom had said, she said, I think, you know, an idea, why don't you have your wife present? And so he looked at me, he was like, I said, yeah, I think that'll be a great idea. And so he said, I don't know. Let me see about this other person. If they are willing to do it, then I'll come to you. But no, then he said, no, I think that would be a great idea. I think that would be something different for you to present me. He said, are you sure you want to do it? And I said, yeah. He said, and he tried to scare me off. He said, it's going to be in front of millions and millions of people. So are you sure you're going to do it? And I said, yeah, I'm okay with it. I can do this. I said, this will be something different and something that, of course, I've never done. So I would be honored if I would be able to present you.
Well, Genesis, you have made history because since 1963, there have only been 5 wives. So you become the 6th wife to present their husband. And you join the list of Kim Singletary, Deanna Favre, Gene Jones, Brenda Warner, and Tracy Mawai. What does that mean to you when you hear, you know, these names, to know that, like, wow, there's only going to be 6 women since 1963 to induct their husbands into the Hall of Fame?
I feel like that those are very strong, trailblazing women, and for it have been a long time for me to pick it back up again is truly an honor to do it. And it's very exciting to basically step back into that light again for the wives introducing, because the wives are, even though, you hear that saying, behind every great man is an even greater woman. So for me to be able, and those wives to be able to step in the light to present their husband and something that they have known, the background of their husband, who has been close and has been there throughout all of those things that they have been going through, and to actually come forth and actually present, it's truly an honor.
When I get the opportunity to talk to guys and, we speak of unfortunate injuries that they've gone through and the blessings of the victories and all the celebratory things. But, when I ask them the questions of your support, what does it mean to have that support? And the first thing they say, it's amazing. It's a blessing to have my beautiful wife by my side to help me through all the trials and tribulations, as well as the celebrations, because you're right there on the front line with them.
Correct. And it's just going through, and it's because of how many, the things that you go through, just the everyday duties, and by you being, even a mom. Right. And when they say you're going through and you're like, wow, you know what, when someone actually gives you adoration and just want to, what, you've done this and you've done this, and then you look back, really? I just, because it's just a job and I just do what I'm supposed to do. And then usually when he is out there and when he's doing his speeches or when he's presenting or if he's doing an engagement and he says, well, I just like to thank my wife, and he says all these things, it's like, wow, thank you. You just never realize that how much of a support you are at that time, but you just know that I got to be here. I got to do this. He needs this. I have to do this. I got to be there for him. You just know what you are supposed to do, not supposed to do, but just in order to support him and just know that I'm here. If you ever need me, know I'm standing here. You can always count on me.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Genesis. And just for the people and the fans that may not know LeRoy, what is LeRoy like? We see him on the field. He invented the Lambeau leap. We've seen all the great highlight features, but what is LeRoy like?
He's very comical. He can just make a joke out of anything. One thing I do admire about him is that he knows how to work a crowd. And those are talents I think that a lot of people don't have. So if you get him in front of a crowd and it's like, this type of crowd, I don't know. I just want to let you know that it's not you. That's how they are. And so he's just like, just give them to me. And then when he goes up and that crowd is basically all loose in the end, and he'll just come up with things that you just never thought to say. And I was like, wow, that was really good. I really would have thought that I would have said that. But he's very comical. Every situation, you can never find him anywhere on the internet not smiling. And he's always the one that's cooking. So I don't cook. So he's always the one that is always cooking. If I'm in there to search for something to drink, he looks at me, what are you doing? Get out of here. Get out of here. I just want something to drink. Get out of the kitchen. Please go over there. Take care. I'll bring you.
Genesis, even during the football season when he was playing, he was still cooking and stuff like that?
Oh, he's always been cooked. Always.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. So I think there may be a Pro Football Hall of Famer Lambeau Leap cooking show in the makings.
Oh, yes.
We can make that happen. We got to make that happen.
He definitely wants that.
Now, I have to ask you, because I know you're on the end of dealing with all the preparations and getting all the invites and things of that nature. And I know he is involved as well, but I also know that he has to deliver a speech. How is that coming along? Is he walking around the house talking to himself? Is he taking notes? Is he wake up in the middle of the night with a notepad beside his bed, like jotting stuff down? How is that coming along?
So when I asked him, I said, how are you preparing for your speech? And he said, I've already got the speech prepared. I've had the speech prepared long time ago when I think when he was speaking to his mom, and he said that, when I was even playing, I had this speech already ready, and I ran it past my mom. So I know that this speech is going to be the speech. So I don't need really, I'm not trying to, make him sound like he has a big ego, but it was just basically like, I know the speech, and maybe I have to, do some tweaking here and there, but I'm already prepared. I'm not nervous. I already know what I'm going to say. And I said that, well, you only have 8 minutes. And so to him, I got 5 minutes. I said, oh, okay, in case you go over.
That's all right. So he's been waiting for this moment. He's been waiting. He's been waiting for this.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I got a chance to talk to him the first year, and I learned about the Lambeau Leap, and he didn't make it that one year. And then this past year, when he was a finalist again, we spoke, and he was on the same set that you're on, and he had a black shirt on and everything. And the conversation, I'm not going to lie to you, I was on eggshells, because the conversation was very like, hey, Jameer, how you doing? Yeah, we're back at it again. And it was like, and in my mind and heart, I'm like, God, I'm praying, please get in this year. And I was so thankful that he gave us the interview. And when he got in, I was like, oh my God, I was so happy for you guys. What was the day like? Because the Knox took on a different look this past year, and you actually knew before him. So how did that go down? I mean, you got the information. How did you keep your composure, knowing that not only he's been waiting for it, but you've been waiting for it, but how did you keep that secret and do all the planning in and around him?
It was stressful. So I'm gonna tell you like this. So he said, if I ever, he didn't say if I ever, he said, when I get in, and it looks like they're doing it a little different this year. He said, I wanted to be at your parents' house. So I said, oh, okay. So he said, so when I got the text message, says, mind you, we're driving up to Green Bay because he has to do a tour. My phone goes through my car, so it will say my text messages. Oh. So I was, as we were driving, and this time for some reason, thank God I had them off, the announcement off, so I just turned them off. And I looked at the text message, and he was going to do something on my phone. And I looked at the text message. I said, let me tell you where to go. He was like, where you're driving? I said, I know, real quick, just let me tell you where to go. So I looked at my text message, and I said, and it said that, is there somewhere we can talk without LeRoy knowing about it? And I said, chills just went down. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And so I'm texting back. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll be in Green Bay in about an hour, and then we can talk then. And so I had to quickly unplug my phone. And I said, could you plug up your phone so we'll, have directions of where to go? He's like, why? I said, just plug up your phone because I got to use mine for something. And he's like, okay, fine, sure. LeRoy is the hardest person to surprise. He said that he does not like surprises. And so it's hard. And so for the request that he had asked me to do was hard. So even when we were on tour, he was on tour, I had to separate from him. So even while we were at Lambeau Field, I had to go, he was wondering where I was. And I said, my job called. Let me just go down here and let me talk to them real quick, and I will be right back. And so he was like, okay, fine. I talked to them, came back. He was like, is everything okay? And he said that he told everybody else because they was like wondering where I was. And he said that, it was something with our son. I was like, that's not what I said. But I said, okay, let's go with that if that's what you're gonna believe. Or it gets you not to ask me any questions. So let's go with that. And that was also, we were up there the day that the Packers lost. So it was a devastating loss. So I just, so he was real hurt. And so all I said was, me knowing the secret, well, you know what? Let's hold on to the Hall of Fame. Let's just hope that you make it in, and that will be some type of encouragement, some hope. Yes, that was a devastating loss, but let's just hope. I mean, we haven't heard anything from the Hall of Fame, so it still could be a chance. Right. So he's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. So as we're planning this, and I'm trying to come up with all these things to get him over to my parents' house. And I said, what can we do? So I had to tell my mom. So only at that time, only my mom and my youngest daughter and the 3 people who I knew wouldn't say anything to try to get him over here. So I said, what can we do to get him over here? My son's godmother was like, let's do this, tell him the president is coming and blah, blah. I was like, okay, he's not gonna believe that. But I said, that's a thought. And my mom came with an idea, and I came with an idea. My daughter said, why don't I just have him come to my school? Said someone wants an autograph. I said, no, that's not gonna work. We need something big that's gonna do it. But she was like, I'm gonna just do it. So he said, well, you know what? In the morning, I gotta go and go to Sierra School, and someone wants an autograph. So I'm just going to go and do that. I said, oh, no problem. And I was like, oh, Sierra, I can't believe that worked. So he said, so the morning that we woke up, and he said that, you know what, I'm only going up there just to do an autograph. I'm gonna just throw on my, get freshened up and throw on my Packer shirt. I said, me trying to throw hints. Do you think that you might want to wear something nice? You are going to meet him and just, it's business transaction. And he was like, no, I'm just going to sign this real quick. And then I'm going to get back in the car. I'm going to take little LeRoy to school. I said, yeah, but I would think that you would want to put on something nice. And he was like, no, I'm good. What's the problem? I said, no, I'm just saying you're going to the school. People are going to see you. Right. You're dressed down and people will see you. I don't care. It's just a school. And I'm just going to go and sign, and I'm going to get right back in the car. I'm going to take him to school. I said, all right, fine. So in my mind, I was like, I tried. So I said, so when we got to my parents' house, and we had to come up with something to keep him there, because otherwise he was going to think, well, I got to take him to school. We got to hurry. So we had the school involved. I didn't tell her what was going on. I just said, could you just let LeRoy know that if he could bring him at this time, not at the regular time, but at this time. And, because we're doing something. And he was like, oh, okay. So you want him there earlier? She's like, yeah, if you can bring him earlier, and that'll be great, because we're doing something at school and we just want to do it before everybody gets. He was like, oh, okay, no problem. So we also still had to get something to keep him there. We did a mock interview. So the person was doing a mock interview, and while he was sitting there, I told my dad, I said, do not answer the door. Tell him to get the door, because you're busy doing something. And so the knock on the door came, and he looked back at my dad, wondering where he is. And my dad said, oh, could you get the door? And he said, sure. Got up and got the door, and they knocked again. And he was like, who is it? And then he was like, he didn't say anything. He opened up the door, and it was Charles Woodson on the other end, and he slammed the door. And then he opened it back up, and he was like, what's going on? I said, woo.
What did it mean to have Charles Woodson? I mean, Charles Woodson is he was a pup, and to have him there and pass the honor to the big bro, to the big homie. What was that? What did that mean to the family?
It was amazing to see him at the door, to see him. Of course, they came into the house, and it was unbelievable, actually. I mean, something that you could imagine. And this is not a dream anymore. He's actually here. This is actually happening. And it was just I would say that it was a tearjerker, because it was finally here. And the way that it was done was even more of a dream. Yeah. And for him to come and just knock on the door and just passing it on, saying, I'm here to welcome you. It's still chills, but it
Right.
was chills all through the whole thing. And I just know that afterwards, he was just like, I can't believe it. I said, I know.
Yeah. This new process is amazing. You know, when you saw Charles welcome in LeRoy, and you saw Anthony Munoz welcome in Tony Baselli, so forth and so on. And it's always great that, you know, in the past has seen Mr. Baker go around, do the knock, but it puts a unique twist on it and feeling and emotion, like your brother bringing you into the fold. And it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Wow. And plus now you guys have memories and stories to tell family members for years. That's amazing. That's amazing. So Genesis, for yourself, and I know taking on the presenter is a little different this year, and I know you'll be on the stage and, you know, you'll pull back the bus and actually see that reveal. But what's been the process like for you meeting with the network and going through the interviews and telling those backstories and reliving those moments of days of playing in Green Bay?
Well, it's been really exciting for me. So my husband would tell me, stop getting a big head. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, calm down, calm. I said, be quiet. You're more excited than I am. So I said, I'm going to get excited. He was like, you know what? Go ahead, get excited, because this is an exciting moment for this happening for both of us. And we just, I don't know. I mean, just the planning from the time that it was announced, and then the planning and going up to it, and just even more, and just giving even more. And we still have the words, I can't not believe it. It's still there. So for that excitement to go on, and the things that he is being involved of doing, and the engagements that is going on, it's just opening up a new world for him, and even more to come. So it's just exciting.
Wow, the Lambeau Leap is going to another level. And before we let you go, on behalf of your family, how proud are you of your husband?
We are very proud, very ecstatic that this moment finally came for him, because I remember the first phone call that he had received and saying that he was a semifinalist. Yes. And he was so excited. I had missed the call, but I heard it on the voicemail, and he was trying to call me and let me know. And he was like, yeah, all I could hear in the voicemail, like, yes, yes. And so by us going and then just taking a moment, and it was just so exciting. And he was just saying, no, when this happens for me and I finally get a chance to be in, he said, it's a whole new world. It's a game changer. So I said, well, I'm just, hoping and praying for that moment to come for you. And now it finally did. But that's what my mind had went back to the first time he got the phone call saying that you're a semifinalist.
And I know the kids are happy. I know the kids are ecstatic.
Yes, our kids are very, very excited. And for our son has autism, so he doesn't really understand exactly what's going on, but he knows that it involves his dad. And when it was announced, and they did a little speech at school, presentation at school, and they held up posters. And so he just knew that everybody was excited for his dad. And we were just like, this is exciting time. We can't wait. And he was like, yeah, when can I go to the Dells?
Well, we can't wait to honor you and your husband here in Canton, Ohio at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Enshrinement is going to be a great time. Thank you so much for sharing those rich stories, and congratulations to you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Genesis Butler, right here on The Mission. Thanks a lot, Genesis. I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much.